Well, hello there, my friend. Welcome to the fire. Has this ever happened to you? You're totally excited about playing a character that you put a lot of work into, and when you finally do, your GM ends up throwing up so many roadblocks that it ends up ruining everything you had planned for that character. How to Kneecap a character in one session. r/RPG horror stories, posted by Bold Italics. Hey there! This isn't as bad as some of the stories on here, but it was a dagger to my cousin's heart nonetheless. Res is a story from a not-so-well-handled Pathfinder 2e campaign about my cousin's newly introduced character getting completely undermined in just a single session. The relevant characters are Fives, the monk, the player was on his 5th character and ran out of names, my cousin's character, Silver Talon, a swashbuckler, vigilante kobold. My cousin had just had his last character killed and was excited to play Silver Talon. He basically was going to meet the party, having done extensive research on the big bad, and fill us in on all we needed to know going forward, as a way to integrate into the party. Before Silver Talon was introduced, the party and Fives were doing a little sneaking, and in a secret room found a card from the deck of many things. This wasn't uncommon. We ran into a few cards scattered about during the course of the campaign, and so we'd randomly see what card we found. Fives found the Fate card. This allowed him to undo any choice he made that would end up with him dying. Fair enough for a guy on his 5th PC. A room or two later, while scouting ahead, Fives runs into the Big Bad, who this character in particular had never met. Big Bad does his whole "join me" spiel, and Fives says, sure. Why? Because as long as the scenario leads to his death, he could reverse this choice. Cue a nice long little spiel about how Fives revealed to the Big Bad all our weaknesses, how to counter us, him becoming the Big Bad's right-hand man, defeating us all, and then conquering the world with him. And then Control Z. All of that was undone, but Fives got to keep all that knowledge. This would have been pretty cool in a vacuum. I honestly think it's pretty dope myself. However, once Fives declined the Big Bad's offer and escaped using some tomfoolery, with the rest of us escaping with the help of Silver Talon, something became evident really fast. Fives leads us to Silver Talon's secret hideout, something no one should have known about, and proceeds to tell us everything we needed to know about the Big Bad, with Silver Talon basically saying, yep, This was more on Fives' PC than the GM, but it's forgivable. The GM should have handled it a little more gracefully, but that's fine. Now, for the part that really ruined my cousin's love of the character. Okay, introduction is spoiled, but whatever, we can roll with it. We find out that one of the 7 MacGuffins that we need is in a cave somewhere, and so we hop on our airship and go to this plot cave. Our GM reveals that he's read up on golems and was excited to use them, so this whole cave was full of golems. We roll initiative and fight these golems. Alright, time for Silver Talon the swashbuckler to shine and show off some skills. He's gonna do some awesome tricks and get a bunch of precision damage. And this, my dear reader, is when the GM reveals to us that golems are immune to precision damage. The whole rest of the session, Silver Talon's whole character was essentially a worse fighter with fewer tricks. His whole build's main thing was completely worthless. During one of the fights, he threw up his hands and said, "Why am I even playing this character?" He felt completely defeated. His cool plot-driven intro? Gone. His secret base? Party knows about it already. Class ability? Null and void. Do you want to know what the worst part is? Golems have no immunity to precision damage. Oh sure, They are immune to a bunch of things, but precision is not one of them. It wasn't even a homebrew thing. The GM just read the stat blocks haphazardly. We didn't find this out until months later when I ran my current game and brought this fact up. From this session on, my cousin wasn't fond of Silver Talon. He never grew attached, knowing that all the neat abilities that he had were completely undercut from the start. So much so that he cannot even remember the character's name. The only reason I have it for the story is that I saved his 3D printed mini file as such. I will give my cousin credit though. He tried to get into this character and played him until he had one of his former characters brought back to life for him to play instead, who proceeded to die in the very first turn of combat due to aura effects by the BBEG. TLDR. Your intro? Whack. Your hideout? Whack. Your character build? Whack. First of all, I just want to say that I love OP's Reddit name. Cobalt Italics is just amazing. Now, on to the issue on hand. First of all, time travel, it could get kinda messy. It's one of those things that you kinda have to be pretty exact on the details, which in this case doesn't seem to be the GM's forte. I mean, you could just broad stroke stuff, but oftentimes that just leaves glaring plot holes and issues. In this case, the GM pretty much invalidates a lot of the story aspects of the Swashbuckler. And the whole golems being immune to precision damage, well, that's just sloppiness on the GM's part. I could definitely understand how the player ends up feeling just so frustrated with everything. What's your thoughts on this whole situation? Sound off in the comments below. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And would you kindly follow the socials posted in the description below. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.